Well, we're cutting in the normal course of programming as we're keeping a close eye on the second day of the ministerial level meeting at the NAM summit taking place in the Iranian capital, Tehran. We're going on, crossing over to our correspondent Saman Kujri, who was at the venue of the conference, and I believe he does have a guest for us. Saman, over to you.
Well, I'm talking to you from the venue of the foreign ministerial meeting of the 16th summit of the non-aligned movement. I'm now joined live by Mr. Manuel Augusto, the foreign minister of Angola. Thank you very much for joining us here on Press TV, sir. Could you please tell us about the principles and goals of the non-aligned movement and the weight that it carries at international developments, how much role it can play?
Yeah, you know that the main purpose of the non-aligned movement is the prevalence of peace, justice, and equality in the world. In the last 50 years, the NAM has played a very important role on maintaining peace, especially during the Cold War. After the Cold War, NAM has to readapt its role, but always keeping on the same principles of peace, justice, equality, development. This summit in Tehran takes place in a very important moment where the world is witnessing some change. Some of them are radical change, like the so-called Arab Spring and so-called movements. And so this is an important moment for the non-aligned movement to reassume the role they have to play in order to maintain peace and equality. In our view, Iran, as the next president of the NAM, can play a vital role. Iran is an ancient country, has experience, has expertise, and has the power to work toward peace. And that's why we can see that this summit has a very good attendance that reflects not only the interest on the summit, on the principles of NAM, but also the confidence that the NAM members deposit on Iran presidency.
Well, do you think that NAM countries, member states, are qualified enough, or in terms of potentials, they have potential enough to actually form a kind of an economic alliance?
Yes, of course. That if you see for the GDP of the NAM, you will see that is a significant GDP in the general world affairs. Some of the countries are, like Iran, are the big producers of some of the more strategic resources like oil. So I think that we have the economic base which can allow the movement to play a more active role. And this meeting, the speech is up to now on the direction that we must be more proactive. NAM can't be just a speech shopping place. We must also play actions, try to solve some problems in the world. We have problems in some of NAM countries, like Syria, and the NAM can play a role. And we are very optimistic that from now on, and with the new presidency of Iran, and with the support of the Bureau, we can achieve a great achievement, especially in what is related with the maintenance of peace.
Iran's Foreign Minister Ali Akbar has proposed a reform within the structure and the framework of the United Nations. What's your take on that?
This is a position that especially the developing countries are defending on the last 5-6 years. We need to reform the UN system, and especially the Security Council. And we're still struggling for this reform. As you know, there is some resistance on the reform. But we are the ones who believe that the reform is inevitable. Sooner or later, we will have to have this reform in order for the United Nations to cope with the new world.
So, if there's anything left to share with us, sir, during the conference, the 2 days of foreign ministerial meeting, the highlights or the main points which were as important as you just had it in mind?
Oh, I think that the theme of the meeting is a broader theme, and I'm sure that both in the ministerial, but especially on the summit, we will come out with some concrete proposals in order to put NAM as an actor, an active actor on the international affairs. Finally, I wish to the Iranian people and the Iranian government all the success for the next 3 years of mandate.
Thank you, Mr. Minister, for talking to us. Thank you very much. Well, Bardier was Manuel Augusto, the Foreign Minister of Angola. He just talked to us and he gave us his viewpoints about the Non-Aligned Movement Summit, as well as all the proposals mentioned and raised during the 2 days of ministerial meeting. And now still foreign ministers are inside. Some of them are out, but some still are inside, and speeches still continue inside the venue. But anytime soon we expect a break, and the morning session of the foreign ministerial meeting of the Non-Aligned Movement comes to an end. Back to you for now, Bardia.
All right, many thanks. That's Press TV's correspondent Salman Kujri at the venue of the NAM Summit. Also thanks to your guest, Manuel Augusto, the Angolan Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs. Of course, we're going to hear from our correspondent Salman later on in the day, but stick around. Up next is the World News.